This isn't going to matter because I'm not going to write most of it on here anyway, but that's okay. Is that relation a function on number 1?
No.
Why not? Right, you have, oh, did it go?
No.
It thinks it went. Do it. What is going on right now?
Is there like an extra class that we could go into?
Yeah, but the sign is that
Or like, what if we take a part of
on
the
Monday.
test in Graham's class?
Please.
What if we just do it Or what if we just do
God's holy
What
word.
if we just take a part of Graham's class?
He does not want this test out.
No, what if Miss Graham's class?
There you go.
What? The class
Yay!
Can we do a partner test? Partner test.
And they all have
Okay. So this is no, okay? You cannot have repeat x's for a function. It's not doable, okay? So number 2, is that a function?
Yes.
Yes, that's the vertical line test, right? If you draw a vertical line, it never hits 2 x's at the same time. So that's a yes. Okay, to complete a mapping diagram, you have domain, your x's, and range, your y's, okay? We want them in order, in numerical order, least to greatest with no what? No repeats. Good. So -3, 1, 0, 2, and 3. Those are almost in order. It would go -3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, put them in order. Don't repeat anything. Your range is the y values. So we're going to do those. Notice, what's your lowest range number? 1, right? Then 2, then 4, then 6. Okay, now you connect them. -3, 1, 1, 4, 0, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6. What are you looking for? If any of these have 2 arrows coming off of it, okay? Are there 2 arrows coming off of any one of those x's? No. So is this a function?
Yes.
Yes, okay? If there's 2 arrows coming off of one, is it a function? No. Okay. Okay, this one. For number 4, they tell you, here's your domain. Find the range. Your range gets written just like your domain did. So brackets, and you put them in order with no repeats, okay? So you're really just solving 3 setups. Y equals, these are your x's, right? So 3 times what? -2 plus 6, okay? That's the first one we're going to solve. The second one is y equals 3 times 1 plus 6. And the third one is y equals 3 times 4 plus 6. And then it's just a matter of simplifying, okay? What do you get on the top one? 0. What do you get for the second one? 9. Third one? 18. So you would go 0, 9, 18. That's your range. Yes, ma'am. I'll probably be pretty gracious about that. But you should put them there. I mean, look at, this is how the domain is written, right? Write the range the same way. It's kind of it's like that.
Oh, I did I just put squiggles.
Sure, squiggles are fine. All right, so number 5, you're saying f of -2, and this is the one that often gets confusing, equals 1/4 times -2 minus 1, okay? This is not saying f times -2. This is saying the function when we plug in a -2. So you're not going to do anything with that, okay? What you're going to do is just simplify this left side. So positive 1/4 times -2 is what? negative 1/2. You're welcome to plug this into your calculator too. So this is negative 1/2 minus 1 is a negative 1 1/2. Okay, or a negative 1.5 if you like decimals better. Oops, I can't write that yet because we don't know if that's the smallest one. So that's f of negative 2. Then we go f of 1. Okay, plugging in a 1 would be 1/4 times 1 minus 1. So that's 1/4 minus 1 is a negative 3/4. And then the last one, f of 4, is 1/4 times 4 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So you have a negative 1 1/2, a negative 3/4, and 0.
Wait, are we allowed to put it in decimals for the range, or do we have to?
You can put it in decimals. Any questions on those? The brackets?
Yeah.
Yeah, put the brackets in. Okay, this one, it says complete the table of values and graph. Now, a couple of things. When there are absolute value bars, do you remember what shape it made? A V. Yep. When there's an x squared, do you remember what shape it made? A parabola, a U-shaped curve, right? Might be upside down, might be right side up. If there's none of that, what does it make? A straight line. Good, all the motions. So we're gonna plug these numbers in just like we did. This is essentially what we did right here, right? Here's your domain, find the range. So we're gonna plug in a negative 2. So it's the absolute value of negative 2 plus 2. What's the absolute value of negative 2? 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Yeah, Kylie.
Can you put that in a calculator?
Your calculator won't do absolute value for you. So just remember absolute value makes it positive, right? So if it's the absolute value of negative 2, it's 2. And then 2 plus 2.
So if it was negative 1, it'd be 1 plus 2.
Yes, so the absolute value of negative 1 plus 2 is 1 plus 2 or 3. Yeah, Olivia.
On the homework, there was a question where there was a negative sign next to the absolute value. Did that just like cancel out the absolute value?
Like this,
Yeah.
it makes it negative
So
because it's outside of the absolute value.
So would it just stay the same? Negative 2 stay negative 2.
Right, so it'd be the absolute value of negative 2. So this is 2 made negative is negative 2.
Okay. Wait, what? So it just stays the same.
If a negative is outside, you have to apply the negative after you do what's inside.
Is there one like that on the test?
No. Okay, so this one, absolute value of 0 plus 2 is 2. Absolute value of 1 plus 2 is 3. Absolute value of 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so then we're gonna graph those points. Where do you move for your x values?
Left, right.
Left and right. And where do you move for your y values or your f of x? Up and down. So we're going 2 to the left, 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we're going 1 to the left and 3 up. 0 left, 2 up. 1 right, 3 up. 2 right, 4 up. So this should be your graph. And draw the line in, okay? It's the whole thing that we want represented.
So when it's not like a real world example, we draw the line.
Yeah, sometimes with the real world, you'll draw the line too, though. Okay, this one. Again, you're just plugging those numbers in. So this is going to be negative 2 times negative 2 plus 4. And then it's going to be negative 2 times negative 1 plus 4. And then negative 2 times 0 plus 4. And then negative 2 times 1 plus 4. And negative 2 times 2 plus 4. So we're just simplifying each one of those by plugging in those x values into our equation. Does anyone have questions on that? Okay, so then let's simplify it. This would be a positive 4 plus 4 is 8. You're welcome to just plug these into your calculator. Remember I showed you if you plug it into your calculator and then you just arrow to that one spot and change the number, you can do that if you want. This is 2 plus 4, so 6. This is 0 plus 4, so 4. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. And negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Am I going too fast for anyone? We're okay? Did someone say yes? Yeah? Okay. So you find all of those individual points, okay, and then you plot them. This first one goes off of the graph a little bit. So negative 2, that's 2 to the left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. God bless you, would be up there. Just add yourself a line. Okay, then we go negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go 1, 2, and then 2, 0. And that should be a straight line. It's a linear equation. Okay, so now look down below here. It says, circle one of these. Is that V, is that blue graph, number 6, linear? No, that's not a straight line. It has straight lines, but it is not one straight line. Is number 7 linear? Yes, that is a straight line. God bless you.
So if it has absolute value, it's never linear?
Yeah, absolute value cannot be linear. X squared will not be linear. Anything without an x squared or without absolute value in what we're doing will be linear. What time is the bell ring? 11:15? Okay. All right. Number 8 says write a function rule for the table and then graph it. So we're looking for what can we do to our x value to get our y value. What are we doing each time? Multiplying by 4. So that means our f of x is going to be equal to our x value times 4. So f of x equals 4x. Okay, so when we go to graph that, we want to count by something that makes sense. So what are you going to count by on your x-axis?
Ones.
I would count by 1s. Okay, what do you want to count by on your y-axis? What?
2.
You can count by 2s, you can count by 4s. If we count by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So this would be 1, 4, 2, 8, 3, 12, and 4, 16. Okay, so that gives you, ooh, I missed a line that looks like that. That's terrible. Is this a bad graph? All right, write a function rule to describe each statement. It says the cost C of parking your RV at $210 per month. What equation can you write from that?
Cost C equals 210.
210 times M, times the number of months, right? All right, this next one, it says the cost of renting a bike depends on the number of full hours H rented. Bikes R Us charges $15.25 per hour plus an $8 one-time fee. So C equals what? 15.25 H plus that one-time fee. Does anyone have questions on that? So $15.25 per hour plus that $8 one-time fee. So what would be the cost if you rent for 4 hours? What are you doing?
Multiplying 15.25 times 4.
Yeah, so 15.25 times 4, and then add that 8 onto it is $69. Okay. Okay, so now this one says, if you have $100 to spend, how many full hours could you rent the bike?
6.
How'd you figure that out?
You plug everything in until you get it.
Oh, you did guess and check.
Yes.
Okay. You can do that. Here's the deal. It's essentially saying the cost equals 1525 times H plus 8. So take away 8 and you get 92 equals 1525H, and then divide by 1525. So 92 divided by 1525 is 6.032. The question was, how many full hours?
So it's just 6.
6 hours, right? Yeah.
If you did it the way like Olivia said, would you get points off for doing it that way?
No, you can do that. Okay. In my personal opinion, this is the hardest question on the test.
Yes.
You too? Yep. Here it is. Okay. This says the length of a rectangle. What is in math? Equals 10 inches less than the width. How do you write 10 less than the width?
L equals W minus 10.
W minus 10. You got to flip the order. Less than, right? Okay, so the length is the width minus 10. It says write a rule for the perimeter. So if you're looking at a rectangle, instead of calling this the length, let's call it the width minus 10, right?
Yes.
What are we going to call the other side? The width, W. Okay, so if our formula is P equals 2L plus 2W, then we're going to say the perimeter equals 2 times the width, which is W minus 10, plus 2 times the width, which is W. Okay? Now, here's the deal. If you want to write that as your answer, I will take that as your answer. If you want to simplify it, I would love for you to simplify it, but I won't force you to on this one. You would distribute this. P equals 2W minus 20 plus 2W. So P equals 4W minus 20. Okay? P equals 4W minus 20. So it's lovely to go as simple as you can, but like I said, I won't force you to on that one. But that would be your perimeter. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width in terms of whatever they were giving you. Henry? Yes, I give you this on the test. Okay, so then what is the perimeter if the width is 16 inches? What do?
You plug that into your...
Plug it into your formula, right? The perimeter is 4 times 16 minus 20. What do you get from that? 32, 64 minus 20, 44. Does that sound right? 44 what? Inches. How we doing? Pretty good?
All right, tell this question.
Okay.
Hey, but what's B?
The perimeter? You plug the 16 in for W. 4 times 16 minus 20.
So for number 11, all you're doing is like finding something, plug into the length.
You're plugging into this equation, right? So they told us the length is the width minus 10. So we're taking that as our length. And then perimeter is 2 of the length plus 2 of the width. So you're just dropping those in for those variables. All right. Find the common difference. What is a common difference? Stay with me. What was 11B? 44. You had to plug the 16 in.
God came in a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I guess we're going.
Common difference is the number
Oh,
I'm gonna borrow.
because he was going to fix my thing, but he realized it was fixed. What?
how much you like add
Right. Common difference is what you're adding to each number, right? Okay, so this says find the common difference. When it says find the common difference, you don't need to plug it into one of your formulas. Just figure out what are you adding by each time. So what are you adding? Plus 5, okay? So your common difference is 5. So your next term is 19 plus 5, so 24. And then the next term after that would be 29, right? So add 5, okay? CD, sure, yeah. Okay, so this one is slightly different. What is your common difference? A negative 1.5, okay? So if you subtract 1.5, you would get 1, and then you would get negative 0.5, okay? Okay, explicit formula. I put the explicit and the recursive formula on your test. So they are there for you. You just need to use them. This one, you don't even need to use a formula. It's there for you. So if we're going to find the first term.
Wait, so the question on this, isn't that number like the first? So I just write that.
Yep. Okay, here's the deal. You have two options here. When I ask you for the first term, your first term is part of the formula. It's right there. What if you forget that that's your first term?
You can just do it out.
Plug a number in, right? What do you plug in for the first term? Plug a 1 in. So your first term is that negative 7, but if you forget that, plug in a 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 times a negative 5 is 0. 0 plus negative 7 is negative 7. Okay? If I plug a 1 in here,
7, because that's in the formula.
right? The formula is this.
You plug 1 in.
Well, I like it. The formula is a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d, right? So a sub 1 is our first term. Well, that's this number in the formula.
Yeah.
So you don't have to plug anything in. You just take that negative 7.
Well,
What?
because 1 minus 1 is 0. When you multiply 0 by the negative 5, it just turns into 0. What?
Okay, listen. A sub n, or a sub 1, is the first term, negative 7, plus 1 minus 1 times negative 5, right? 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 times negative 5 is 0.
Yeah.
So negative 7 plus 0 is negative 7. Okay? All right, then you plug in a fifth term. So to find the fifth term,
You plug in 5.
you would say a sub 5 is negative 7 plus 5 minus 1 times the common difference, which in this case is negative 5. Okay? At this point,
I think let's put an N.
okay,
Where's the N?
what do you mean, where's the n? That 5 is our n. That's our term number. So anywhere you see an n, you plug in a 5.
Never heard about. Alright.
You have. Whether you listened to it or not, I don't know. But you have heard this. We have done this. Okay, here's what I would do if I were you. I would take this and I would plug it into my calculator exactly how you see it. Because your calculator knows PEMDAS. 4 times a negative 5 is a negative 20. So negative 7 plus negative 20 is a negative 27.
On that.
Okay?
On that.
Okay, look at this. Number 15. What's your first term?
6.
It is 6. Okay? Yeah. To find the fifth, you would plug in a 5. We're not going to do that right now because I want to make sure we have enough time to take the test. All right. Number 17 says write a function rule using the explicit formula for each sequence. Then find the 17th term.
We didn't work on my calculator.
Remind me at the end and I'll talk you through it. We're going to finish this and then I'll go back to that with just you. Okay? Okay, so the function rule. You're going to see this right at the top of the page or right at the top of this question even, I think. So you're going to have this, which means I'm going to say a sub n equals, what is going to take the place of a sub 1?
The first
which is 10. Your first term, okay? 10 plus, when you write the function rule, you leave the n in there. What is d?
It's 4.
It is 4. It's the common difference. Plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. Okay? So when they ask you for the function rule, that's it. If they ask you for the 17th term, what do you do?
Then you plug in into the end.
A sub 17 equals 10 plus 17 minus 1 times 4. And again, plug it into your calculator. Try it again here, Sophia. 10 plus parentheses 17 minus 1, end your parentheses, and then times 4. What do you get? Are you plugging in a negative instead of a minus? Bring it up here real fast. Did you get 74?
I haven't tried it.
You should try it. Okay, last one, and then we're going to take this. This one asks for the recursive. Okay, the recursive formula is a sub 1 equals a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus d. Okay, that is on the test for you. Okay, so you're going to say a sub 1 equals what? 36. And then a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus what?
3. Minus 3.
Plus a negative 3, so you can just write it as minus 3. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms here. So your fourth term is 27. What would your fifth term be? What are we doing each time?
24.
Taking away 3. 24. What would your sixth term be? 21. What would your seventh term be? And your eighth term?
12.
Well,
We just need eighth.
Dang it. Wait, come on, Bob.
Okay?
oh.
Okay.